Hello, hello. David here with the round 7 recap. So this is the final round. Coming into this round, I am in clear first place with 5.5 points out of 6. There are 2 people behind me with 5 out of 6, including my opponent in this round, and then another person playing my opponent from last round. And so, with that being said, I can't just draw on my game and win the tournament because someone else has 5 points. They could get 6, I would get 6, and then we would tie for first. And so if I want to have any chance at a clear first victory, I at least need to win this game to guarantee I'll take that. Otherwise, I'll need the opponent on the other board to lose. So I'm not quite out of the woods just yet. And so we get started with this game. This opponent is very very good. She was undefeated after 4 rounds, so I knew she was a strong player. And unfortunately, I didn't pay attention to what she played as white on the board in the previous round. And so, but anyway, it was fine. I already knew what I was going to play anyway. Depending on what she plays. So let's just jump into this game. So again, I'm in clear first, but I do need to win to guarantee clear first. Otherwise, if I draw, then it's going to be a tie. If I lose, then it probably end up in second place for sure. So yeah, that's the stakes going into this round, and let's go ahead and get started. So my opponent opens up with 1e4. And when I first started playing tournament chess, I would play the French. I started playing the Sicilian for a while, and now I've been experimenting with 1e5. So yeah, I can do any one of the 3 openings, but for this tournament, I decided to go with 1e5. My opponent goes knight f3. I go knight c6. My opponent goes for the Scotch game. So I take, knight takes. I was almost expecting the Scotch gambit with with bishop c4 here, but instead my opponent takes, and now I play this queen h4 line, which is interesting. I don't think a lot of people really prepare for this line. And then after knight c3, bishop b4. And my opponent didn't play the correct move here. He played queen d2, and at this point, because all I'm trying to do is secure some type of either draw or possibly a win, my strategy at this point is to win the pawn on e4, and that's basically it. So I take here, I take the pawn. After knight comes back, at this point, I'm up a pawn, so I'm already, on move 8, I'm up a pawn. So at this point, I know, okay, I can trade all the pieces off, get into a pawn up, king and pawn in game, and I can win that. And so that's my strategy at this point. So, which is why I played queen b4. Some other moves that we might play here could be, knight g7, knight f6. Yeah, but again, at this point, my strategy is simply to trade out the pieces, get into a king and pawn endgame, and convert that. So while I love attacking chess, I wasn't trying to take the risk of losing in this final round, and this determined my play. My opponent has to prove that their position is better. They have to outplay me if they want to have any chance at winning the tournament. And so we're just really just maneuvering pieces around. Here, I would have chosen a different plan actually. Instead of d6. I would have chosen to go b6 here, put the bishop here. Yeah, and then just castle. This is a strategy this is what I should have done actually to make my life a little bit easier if I had to win. But instead I went d6, allowing the knight to come in. We traded, and now I've got to do some maneuvering around with my knight so that I can get castled and then bring my knight back around. Knight b4, play the rook here, and I believe it was at this point that the other game finished. So the person that had 5 points on the other board, their game finished, and I wasn't sure what happened. I thought that he lost. Maybe they drew. I wasn't sure. And so I think this also is what determined what my opponent decided to go for in this line. And so she ended up playing rook here, allowing us both to double. And then we take and trade off the rooks. And in this position, okay, I've got the 2 knights, I have the extra pawn, but my opponent's got these 2 bishops, and it's an open position. So even converting this with the extra pawn is going to be very tough. It's not going to be easy, but I was prepared to fight this out to the very end and try and convert this game. Or at the worst, hold on to the draw. But for sure, I felt like I could win. You know, we're talking about the under 1900 section. We're not talking about, you know, the open section. We're not talking about grandmasters playing here. We're just talking about 2 people who have a lot to learn about chess. And I felt like here with the extra pawn, I could figure out something, especially with the knights. So, but here my opponent offered to draw, and because I wasn't sure what happened in the other game, I went to go check the pairing sheet to see what the result was, and the other person with 5 points had lost. So by taking a draw, I could get clear first place. Of course, the competitive side of me wanted to win, but I didn't get any extra money for winning, and so here I accepted the draw offer, and we went home. So that was basically it. It was a wild tournament. I can't tell you, I really can't express to you the satisfaction that came with winning a Swiss tournament, finally a 7-round one at that. I didn't play all the rounds. Remember, I took that 4th round half-point bye, so who knows what would have happened if I played that, but none of that matters because what happened. So, but yeah, it was a wild tournament, and I've been playing chess tournament chess for 11 years, and so finally to get a single victory after coming close a couple of times definitely feels very good. All of my opponents were great. Again, that round 3 game definitely could have turned the tables, and I need to play better in all of my games if I want to continue to have the results that I think I should in my games and in my tournaments in general. So I look forward to putting in the work to try and shore up some of these holes in my game and playing more tournaments this year. So, and doing video recaps of those games, hopefully more along as the tournament's going, so they're hopefully a little more exciting for the viewers. But I hope you enjoyed these recaps, and thanks for watching. And I'll see you on the next video when we have the next tournament. So until then, chess hard.